Hello, YouTube family, to all my followers and subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Um, Normally, I don't make videos where I'm talking to you guys directly. Um, One, I'm not a people person. Two, I guess just fear, scared, ashamed of people's opinions. But I felt like the things that I'm going through right now and in my life and in my time, it could be somebody else out there that's going through the same thing that I'm going through. And I want them to know that they're not alone. That, sorry, I'm emotional. That they're not alone, and that we got to build a support group. We got to stick together. To all my domestic abuse survivors, this is tremendously for you guys. This is for people who are in a relationship that's in a domestic abuse relationship. For those of you, for most probably don't even know, I'm married, fresh out of high school, basically. I didn't come up from a good support system, I shall say. My father was a drug addict. He loved cocaine, heroin, and pills more than he loved me. My mother was a single mother of 3, technically 4, but my other brother died as an infant. And as a mom, I guess parents try to do the best that they can, the best of what they feel is right. But she was never around because none of my siblings and I's fathers supported her financially. So she had to work. And still to this day, my mother is always at work. She's at work more than home. Living paycheck to paycheck, just try to make ends meet. So I felt growing up living with my mother that my mother was never home. She made sure we had the basic necessities that we needed, but some days it was challenging. It was a struggle, and I don't judge her in any way for it, but it does reflect on the type of mother that I am towards my 5 sons and the type of mother I am towards my children, and how I am the way that I am, and how I am as a person as well. My siblings, I basically had to take care of them like my own children. Try to pick up the slack as the oldest to make sure that, hey, where my mother was falling short, I tried to pick it up. I hate to see kids suffering. I hate to see kids go through any type of situation. Still to this day, if I could help out everybody, I do. Even when it comes to some of my friends and relationships that I have had in the past, friendship-wise, lover-wise, anything you could think of. If there was children involved and they was in need or anything, I've always would put more on my plate to make sure the children had, or try to always extend myself so children wouldn't suffer. But back to the moral of the story I'm trying to say. I married fresh out of high school. I looked at it more so not as somebody that I really, I guess, loved or cared about. Maybe this was like a lust situation. Because I wanted to get away from home. I looked at it as an escape route to leave home. I didn't want to be there anymore. I was tired of being unhappy and so much pressure and responsibility on me that I just wanted to be free, to be by myself. And, I thought that I had that when I got married. I guess that's what pushed me and motivated me to make a poor, bad decision in who I chose to share my life with. Plus immaturity, being very young, not really understanding or realizing what I was getting myself into. Ignorant to it, if you say. I had, we ended up having a child together very fast. I'm not one that's really for abortions. And I thought that, hey, this is somebody I could build a future with. Moved in. And I thought things was going to be great, you know. When I got married, I should have known then on my wedding day when I was so unhappy and how things was going and that my family didn't support it, that I shouldn't have been doing it. But me, being young and ignorant, not listening, like this what I want to do, this my life, thinking I'm grown, went ahead and married this man who was 9 years older than me, who come to find out later on down the line, I was his third wife. Didn't know that until probably the third year of me being married to him. Got to make sure you do your research on people. Make sure you do your research. Make sure you know what you getting yourself into, how much debt they have, and what type of person they really is before you go ahead and tie yourself to them. I married him, and from there on, when I moved from Michigan to Texas to follow him, with him working and with his following his career. I'm trying not to give too much detail, y'all. I should have known then. I've witnessed more in life than most people my age should ever have to see. It's something that I hope that my sons never have to encounter. If I was to have a daughter, which I can't have any more children, it would be for where it's something I would never want anyone's daughter to have to go through. I tried to be the best wife that I could. I followed God's Bible guidelines and principles, trying to stay faithful, trying to stay committed, trying to make sure that, hey, my husband was taken care of on a day-to-day basis, researching, constantly Googling it and, looking up things, because I didn't come from a family where I've seen a marriage succeed. My grandmother, she tried it. Hers didn't work out. But I was so young by the time they got divorced that I don't recall and don't know how things was with watching someone on trying to be a wife. My husband didn't have to do anything for him, ex-husband. Didn't have to do anything, nothing. But all he did was go to work. Came home, slept. I had the kids. I cooked, I cleaned, did all the errands, all the grocery shopping, trying to maintain and hold down our finances and stuff like that. And that was fine until the abuse started. Any type of verbal abuse has been exchanged on both parts. Me trying to defend myself in regards to his verbal abuse, which is so wrong to do. But then there was the domestic abuse, and it wasn't okay. I still suffer from the trauma. Years later, even after being divorced, after moved on in my life, I struggle mentally. Okay? I try to be strong, but I'm not. I've been punched, suffocated in pillows, drowned, strangled, with a belt tie blacked out. I've been stabbed. I don't know, as you can see, stabbed on my wrist with knives, slapped, punched in my ribs, everything, right? To the point for where I felt almost the abuse was okay. Just don't cheat on me. Then the adultery happened. And then it was like, okay, go ahead, because I'd rather you not be at home so I don't get hit. I'd rather you just not be here and I just do everything by myself. And then it got to the point where I was just trying to just keep him happy, keep him from lashing out, keeping him from doing anything that'll trigger his anger. It took me me 5 years of that before I was able to escape and finally had enough, and I was tired. And if I was stronger then, the first time I should have left in, versus feeling like I didn't have no option to go back home, feeling like, how can I just give up on my marriage so quickly? And things of that nature. I've had 2 PPO against him, and we have 3 children in common. And since then, you know, he still has a history of domestic abuse towards women, even in front of my children. And, you know, no matter how hard I fight for them as a mom, you know, the justice system looks at it completely different. That based upon my opinions and my feelings, that I could be reflecting upon my children. And it's not fair. I don't agree with it. It's not right. I don't want to be quiet. I have been very boisterous since my divorce was finalized, since I've gotten away out of it, the situation, because I see so many young women who just stuck. Women who you read about who don't make it out. And, you know, I don't want anyone to feel like you gotta stay. There's so many support groups out there that's willing to help. To get you out of that situation. I guess the reason for this video is, you know, I think domestic violence awareness should be spoken up more versus people being quiet. Because you never know how it affects someone mentally. Me as a mom of 5, I try to keep myself busy, try to keep my sons busy to distract my mind from thinking about it. But when I'm constantly having to fight and deal with the situation to try to protect my sons, which a mother is supposed to do, it's almost like I'm reliving it. For where I feel that I really don't have someone who truly understands me and the trauma it has caused my family. When I say my family, me and my sons. It's hard. It's not easy. It's a day-to-day battle. It's a day-to-day struggle. It's a day-to-day we're just trying to have a positive motivation and mind frame and mindset. It's changed me as a person. I'm very closed off to outside people that don't involve my children. I'm enclosed for where I look at my life. My sons is all I got, and I don't need nobody else. Because I couldn't protect them before, I feel like. I couldn't protect myself. I didn't protect myself. I didn't speak up. And all I've done, I feel like it's just made the situation worse down the line from not doing so. And I get it, you know. Fathers should be a part of their sons' lives. I'm not one of those mamas that think opposite. But I also think that it should be fair. I don't think that the way, you know, if a person is truly genuine and they try to make that effort and they have, you know, where it's just motivated with them and their kids, I'm not bitter when it comes to that. But when you're putting them in a harm's way or putting them in a domestic abuse situation, I don't think that that's right. I don't think that that's okay. And my ex-husband has a pattern of domestically abusing women. He has it with his child's mother before me. He has it with any woman he gets involved in, including his previous wives. And nobody spoke up. He's always gotten a slap on the wrist. He do jail time and then charges get dropped, or it gets sponged, or he just gets off. And my fear as a mother is that one day, what if he pushes it and takes it too far and don't realize it? And now my sons are affected from it. Our sons that we have in common. And as a mom, I've been trying to do everything I can to try to prevent it. But there's nothing I can do at this point, I feel like. And I see so many things, like even on TikToks, for where there's parents that go through custody battles. It's coming from both sides, where I've seen videos with mom and dads, for where the children are taken and put in a situation that's not normal, that's not okay. I don't agree with how the criminal justice system is. And I could probably get in trouble for saying that. But that's my opinion. And I don't think that it's right. And I'm trying not to be detailed and say specific names. But it's not right. It's not fair. I don't understand how a person can have a pattern of something and it's still in the best interest for the kids for him to be able to have visitation rights towards them. And I'm pretty sure it's moms and dads out there who feel the exact same way that I do. You know, but my grandma